Good afternoon. My name is Jim Dozer. I'm the director of the Institute for Music Leadership at the Eastman School of Music. So my background is a little bit different. I've been in this position for the last year and a half, though I've been an adjunct at Eastman for a number of years. But the bulk of my career has been spent in public education, where I spent 36 years. And at the same time, not consecutively, I spent 20 years as a small business owner. The business was called Tritone Jazz Fantasy Camps, where we produced jazz camps for adults, which was a lot of fun. Now, you might be wondering what the Institute of Music Leadership is at the Eastman School of Music, and I can tell you that our mission is to help students to develop the attitudes and the skills necessary to envision and implement their own unique and rewarding career in music. It's very important in our field. And I'll give you one statistic, and that is that less than 1% of the students who are in music schools in America end up with a full-time job in a symphony orchestra. So we really help students to think of what the next step might be. So at Eastman, we've moved kind of light speed from offering no online courses to now offering 6 online courses for credit and 1 course not for credit. The 6 courses for credit: career skills for the 21st century, entrepreneurial thinking, leadership issues in music, digital marketing, creating and sustaining a professional ensemble, keys to healthy music 1, and then our Coursera course is called The Blues. We've taken 4 of these courses and packaged them into a certificate program that can be achieved completely online. All of these courses are 100% online. One of the interesting things about offering the online courses at Eastman is that there were some unexpected on-campus benefits for students. I should say that this certificate program we initially thought of as being completely for non-matriculated students at Eastman around the world, which it serves as. But we offered this, and all of a sudden we had some other questions pop up from students that said, I can't attend your career skills class on Thursday night. May I take the online version? Well, sure. It's the same teacher, me, the same content. It follows the same schedule. Absolutely, same credits. And then if you have anything to do with musicians or music schools, you know that schedule is very, very difficult for students. And there's some things that they just can't miss, like concerts. And so it's frequent that there be students missing. So teaching both the online and the face-to-face class at exactly the same time allowed me to embed all of the online activities into a hybrid version of my class. So if a student missed the lectures, they can watch everything online. No extra work, they just shift over to that other format. So the lessons that I've learned, this essential question that was asked to me by someone who worked with Eric, who helped me design my first online course a number of years ago, and that was, is this activity really essential to the learning objectives? So every time I told the person who was helping me develop a course that this is what I want to do, he said, why? Is it tied to an objective? And it really helped me to be a better teacher, period, because it forced me to ask that question every time I planned something for my class. I think both of the preceding speakers said something similar, and that is communication and articulation of objectives is so essential in an online class. Not just the learning objectives, but how those objectives tie into the assessment and what your expectations are, and especially what your schedule is. My classes, I teach 3 of those online classes, follow a semester schedule, and there are specific deadlines in each module, and my modules run each week. So I wanted to show you a couple of things from my class. These are the learning objectives that I know you can't read them, that's okay. The point, though, is that they're very specific and this is something the students have to read before the class begins. And then I'm a very unusual combination of a type A personality, but unbridled creative thinker, and that's very dangerous. But what that caused me to do is to over-communicate my expectations. For example, the schedule. You'll see Module 1, the first week of the schedule has 11 different activities. The activities in red are assignments that have to be turned in. There are due dates for each one within the course of the week. And I thought it would be very helpful, and the students have confirmed this. I told them how long I expected each activity to take them. And we all know that an online student has to be very disciplined and self-directed, so this was helpful. So lessons learned. Don't build your plane in the air. I've done it twice. It's a really, really bad idea. And my wife will tell you the same thing, because this takes a lot of time, both teaching an online course and especially designing it and your first year in a course. I laughed the first time that I brought up introducing online courses in the school district that I taught of. The number one objection I had was, oh, well, that's going to be so much easier, that's not fair. And I can tell you, it's not easier. It is not easier at all. And then this, be careful what you ask for. So I like to ask, as I'm sure you do, for a lot of rigor and interaction and feedback from students. But I'll tell you what, they give it to you in an online class. So you better be prepared to respond to the things that you ask for. And consider that, just like you were saying, the different strategies online, because you will be very busy responding to students. And also, be prepared to have richer interaction than you think that you might have in any class. I have said this to my colleagues, and I think they believe me, and that is that I believe I get to know my online students better than my face-to-face students because of the amount of interaction we have. I wanted to show you one of the types of interactions that we do, and this is a discussion forum. And this particular assignment was about entrepreneurial thinking, the concept of how you take an idea and implement it. And so I asked students to record a video and then upload it to the discussion forum. And then they each had to respond to 3 of their students' videos. So this particular assignment, the student had to identify a need or a problem. Secondly, they had to explain how their idea would meet it. Third, identify some potential roadblocks. And fourth, imagine some solutions. And they had to do it all within 60 seconds. So I thought it would be interesting for you to actually listen to one of these and watch it. This student, Evelyn, actually is taking this class from India.
My idea is a concert series called Music with a Message. And the purpose of this series is to make classical music more accessible and relatable to Indian audiences. There will be a few challenges along the way, one of which is confronting local attitudes about serious music. Classical music is not part of the culture here, and neither is concert going, and this is where my idea comes in. Concerts will highlight social issues such as care of disabled children, homelessness, and maybe even women's issues. Each concert will provide a platform for classical musicians as well as a non-governmental organization that's working towards a cause. In this way, people who are passionate about social issues are introduced to classical music. There will be a significant amount of logistical challenges, including recruiting artists, NGOs, renting performing spaces, hiring pianos, promotional costs, legal issues, and fundraising. I will need a team of people to work on this with me.
59.5 seconds. So
Wow.
and then, of course, the students would comment and provide feedback to the different ideas that they heard. One of the tools that Eric introduced me to was the online journal. And I found this to be so valuable. I think I have in this course, which is just about finishing, 9 times that students have to communicate with me one-on-one. And a very, very rich interaction. I think the principal reason why I can say I get to know my students in this class better than my face-to-face. So what I like to share when you consider, be prepared to make mistakes. Being that type A person. I wanted every box checked before my course launch, and I was going to have no problems. And that doesn't last. And so I quickly decided it was okay when a student emailed me and said, by the way, this isn't working. And they were okay with it. They communicated it, we fixed it, life goes on. The second was that be prepared to question yourself. I mean it when I say I became a better teacher. The first course that I taught was called the Business of Music at the high school level, first course online. I took a 40-week course. By the time I'd done it the second time, I'd taken this 40-week course and turned it into a 20-week course that was richer, more direct, and more beneficial to students because I kept questioning myself through this process. And that's everything that I have to say. So.